Hi, and welcome to Open for Business. It is the 20th of October. And yes, we're open for business today. This is a show that was born out of lockdown in the UK. Initially, we were just broadcasting live on a Facebook page. And now we're on Facebook, YouTube. We're also the podcast with a global audience. So things have moved on, but the core hasn't changed. No, we're still chatting to business owners, entrepreneurs, coaches, consultants, and finding out what they do. They've got it's an absolute privilege to talk to these different people because they've all got a story to tell, and you get to learn so much. And in today's broadcast, it is no different. I'm joined by the lovely Diana Jones, who I've known for a few years now, husband Kevin, lovely daughter Lara, and she is talking today about essential oils. She's also I think it's a Soma breathing practitioner, breath practitioner. So we'll be asking her about that, but we'll be getting to know Diana and her story. So without further ado, I'm going to bring Diana straight on the screen, and here she is. Diana, welcome. It's been a long time since I've seen you, and it's a pleasure. So
thank you, Nick. Thank you.
So tell us, how did you? Well, I think you've always really been into. Since I've known you, have been into oils and health and natural ways of living. But do you want to tell us a little bit about where you're from and how you got started, how you learned these amazing things?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Nick, for having me on. So yes, my name is Diana Jones, and I have been into natural ways of healing for many, many years. I've been actually, just before we got on, I was thinking, when was the first time I got introduced to kind of herbs and natural kind of products? And it was actually from my mom back in the 80s. She used to kind of pick the herbs, and she used to had this old ancient encyclopedia of herbs, and she would make us different brews to kind of put on our hair, like nettle kind of soup kind of thing, and for our skin. So I think I learned the love, and I felt the power of nature, I think, from her back then. And then in 2006, I started natural nutrition. I got my diploma, and ever since I kind of lived trying to really follow natural rhythms, so kind of really mimicking nature and finding alternative modes of healing and trying to get away from pharmaceutical drugs as much as I can. Of course, they're there for the purpose, but if I can, I'm here always to kind of find the ways around it. And same for my husband and my daughter has been living the same lifestyle ever since. Lara, my daughter, ever since she was born. So yeah, I have a huge love for all things natural.
Cool. And going back when you were just talking about your mother, I detect a slight twang in your accent.
Yes.
Whereabouts were you brought up? Was that
yes, I should have said that. Sorry. Yeah, Croatia. Yes, I'm Croatian. Yes, I came to UK in 1998.
Oh, well, that was
a long time ago.
A mere slip of a girl.
Yes, I was only 20, so you can calculate how old I am now. So
very young. We wouldn't be so rude. Well, it's our gain. It's our gain, and it's amazing how your mother knew those old recipes, those old methods.
Yes, well, she used to follow. I don't know if you heard of, but he's still. I mean, he's not around. He passed away, but his products are still around. His name was Alfred Vogel. He was a Swiss pharmacist and Swiss, I think, herbologist. So you can find his products in health shops today. So she used to have his encyclopedia as well, and follow his recipes and trying to make things. So I think we still have back in Croatia the book somewhere. But yes, very much. So she was very in tune with that way of living as well.
Cool. So you came over to the UK as a young lady. So tell us. So how did you actually get to where you are now? And actually now you're selling the oils, you're doing the breath work. Tell us tell us a bit about that journey. That'd be amazing.
Of course. So I finished the course in 2006, natural nutrition. Kind of really started practicing it, not really on myself and my friends, not really as a business, but just kind of living that lifestyle. And then I had my daughter when I'm 2009. And of course, my life really was dedicated to her. I mean, it took so much, effort in an all positive way. But my life was all about being mum for a very long time. And of course, I'm still am, but she's now 11, so it's much easier.
Yeah.
And then I found out about essential oils actually before my daughter was born. Okay, it's about 2007, 2008.
Okay.
And I came across this company I'm working with at the moment. I came across them. And one of the, I used to go, and I still go, well, not now because of the virus and all this was happening, but I normally go to like a health shows and different kind of seminars. And I actually came across them. They had a stand, and I would pass by. I said, "Oh, try our essential oils, and you can take them internally." And I was like, "No, you can't take essential oils internally. That's So I stopped. I had a chat with them, and they had such a confidence in the purity of the product. They said to me, "It's just a plant in a bottle," and they were just so confident. They said, "Of course, you can take peppermint internally. You can." And I would try all these oils. I was absolutely amazed. That was my first kind of contact, with them. And ever since, I used the products, and I had the most beautiful. One thing that completely sold me is when my daughter was about 2 years old. She had a temperature, quite a high temperature, and as you know, as I said to you a minute ago, I always find natural ways of healing and natural products, and I didn't want to give her any paracetamols or any Calpol and things like that. So my friend at the time, well, she's still my friend, but she's on the same level of thinking as I am. She said to me, "Try oregano oil." Okay, from the same company I'm working with.
Right.
And I said, "Why oregano oil?" Oregano oil is obviously antibacterial, antiviral, and actually will lower down her temperature. Just put it on the soles of her feet. And I was like, okay. I mean, to be honest, I didn't really believe it. I was like, okay, I'll try it, I have oregano oil at home. So I would do that every half an hour. I would put it on the soles of her feet. And she was about 2 years old. And as the evening approached, normally temperature always rises, right?
Yeah.
But actually with her, it went down. And I managed to keep it off, and it was high. It was about 40. I was
Wow.
on the verge of thinking maybe I should give her something, something medical. And I was, oh my God, I was absolutely amazed. I was like, that is incredible, And I started to believe more and more in power of these beautiful plants. Really, that's what they are, plants in a bottle. And then, ever since, I've been using them. And then only about 5 months ago now, I actually joined them as kind of a business opportunity, because I thought, they're so in line with my way of thinking, and what they have products that are so pure, and I'm all about purity, that it didn't, make perfect sense for me to kind of join them and start it as a business. So yes.
I love that idea. We'll come on to that as well, because
Sure.
starting a business right now is probably a really good idea for a lot of people. But let's talk a little bit more about the oils, because you said about and when you said about them saying to you, you can take them internally, I was with you on that. I was thinking, really? So what is it? Is it purely the oil from the plant?
Yes. Yeah. So, okay. So thank you so much for asking that. It's super important to clarify, actually. So, what is essential oil? Essential oil is really, in a nutshell, essence of the plant it comes from, or herb. Okay. So it can come from a stem. It could come from a leaf, leaf. It could come from a flower, from any part, okay? But it's the essence of it. And because it's the essence of the plant, is about 50 to 70% more powerful than the plant itself, okay?
Wow.
So it has much more power and it's more potent, okay? So when you make it super pure, and the thing is, in today's world, in essentially, this is what I came to realize in the last 6 months, which I didn't know before, because I use different brands and over the years, and I try different things. But what I realized is there's a lot of companies out there. I'm not going to name anything, but just there's a lot of companies out there who actually whose oils are quite synthetic. So what I came to realize is that in some of these companies, in the bottle, there will be 97% of stuff that's synthetic and only 3% of actual essential oil.
Oh,
And
wow.
I was absolutely I was like, I couldn't believe, like, really, is that actually allowed? Because it's just, people can do what they want to do. So people would use these oils, they would smell them and they would think, oh, it smells nice, but they wouldn't have any effect. It would be like, yeah, it's nice, to smell, maybe to put on the skin a bit, and that's it. But when you come to oils such as oil I'm using, they're so pure, they go through something like 9 different testings. The company I'm working for, it has their own laboratories, okay? So it's
Yeah.
medical staff. They have independent people who come and test the products too. So make sure there's no conflict of interest or anything like
Yeah.
that.
Sounds good.
And they test, when you see their labs and how they do testings, I mean, it's incredible. And for that reason, they're really the only company that whose oils are actually certified. They're certified pure therapeutic grade oils, so they are called medical grade oils.
Oh,
In a
wow.
sense, yeah. So they're more than just something nice to smell with. It's really, they have a really deep effect it can have on the system. And just to say, with oils, when they're very pure, what they have, this massive ability, because they're fat based. Okay, oil is fatty, right? Is oil, and the cell membrane is also made of fats. They have ability to penetrate inside the cell, so it can start healing the cell from inside, which is so beautiful. I think, for me, it's just a magic.
Mm.
And for that reason, it's very, very good against viruses, because as we know, the viruses start inside the cell. So the oils will have this ability to kind of heal the cell from inside. Okay, and of course they're very good against bacteria too. So yeah, it's just that they're very magical things, magical compounds.
Yeah. And so do you learn that different oils do different things? So you have like a
Absolutely.
almost like a medicine book of.
Absolutely. I've been, in the last 6 months, I've been massively learning, because more and more, because when I joined this company, I wanted to know even more. Of course, they do many different blends. They do actual single oils, blends of oils, and every blend they do is done synergetically in such a way that it will actually help you with that particular thing it was made for, in a sense. So
Gotcha.
they do things for our hormonal system, for digestive system, blends for sleeping issues. So they're all tested to do that. Okay, so they don't release anything out until it's tested and it's proven that it does affect your brain in such a way to help you, let's say, sleep or whatever you want to address. So yes, absolutely, yeah.
Oh, wow, that's really interesting. And so, and are you, because I'm obviously a total oil novice, so are you taking like a teaspoon or a
Mhm.
larger amount? Do they
Okay.
come in bottles?
Yeah. So, okay, so I'll show you one. I'll go on here. There
Oh,
you go.
perfect.
The little bottles that come in. Okay. Normally
Uh-huh.
about, you can have it in 15 ml bottles, or you can have it in 5 ml bottles. But how do we use oils? Again, thank you, Nick. Very good question. Very important to say. So you can use them 3 different ways. Okay. You can use them, you can diffuse them. So this is what I'm doing at the moment here when I'm talking to you. I'm actually diffusing some oils. Can you see this?
Oh,
There you
wow.
go. Yeah,
Yep,
I've got
yep.
this diffuser, and I put a couple of drops in a bit of water inside, and I diffuse it so I can smell it. And this is the quickest way, actually. A smell is the quickest way to absorb any sense, because it takes about 22 seconds for the smell to go through your nasal cavity into your brain.
Ah, into your brain as a.
Correct, straight. Yes, yes,
Ah,
yeah. So it lifts. So, for example, oils like peppermint, it's very energizing. So it will give you this kind of a boost of energy. It will light up your prefrontal cortex. And by the way, they've done the recordings of the brain when somebody smells these oils. So it's all been recorded. So they will kind of like. So it's a very. This is why when we go to the dentist, they gave us laughing gas. This is a very quick way to get us relaxed, right? It's the
yeah,
quickest
that's true.
way. Yeah. So for the nasal cavity, so you can diffuse them. And diffusing is lovely. You can clear the air in your house. You could you can really affect your mood pretty quickly that way. So that's the one way. Then you can put them topically. Okay. So you would dilute you could put these oils neat on your skin, but we all some people are more sensitive than others, so it's nice to dilute them. So maybe with a bit of a coconut oil, you put a bit of coconut oil and maybe a drop or two of this oil. By the way, these oils are super powerful. And just to give you an example, 1 drop of peppermint oil, it's like having 28 cups of tea, peppermint tea.
Wow.
1 drop. Super powerful. I know exactly.
Yeah.
When I learned it, I was like, what?
I know. Oh, I want to try them now. I love peppermint tea.
I will send you some, by the way. I will send you some after our conversation.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so then you can use them topically. So you put a little bit of, a bit of carrier oil, a drop of essential oil, and you put them. The best places to put them, you can put them all over your skin, obviously, but the best places are wrists, soles of the feet, and back of the neck and ears, because it just absorbs the quickest. That's all. It just they're like aromatherapy points, acupuncture points. Sorry.
Oh,
So,
yes, of course. Yes, because I was thinking when you were talking about putting it on Lara's feet.
yes,
I was thinking that's a strange place to put them.
I know.
But I guess if there's only 2, that makes more sense. But
exactly. And children are small, so you wouldn't. Children, of course, everything must be put topically, or you can diffuse for children because they're sensitive. Their skin is super sensitive, so more care is obviously needed with children, of course. So yeah, topical is lovely. I mean, I make my facial cream with oils, facial. I do my deodorant as well. I make my all sorts of things using these beautiful oils because they're just. I mean, I just love them. So that's the second way, topically. And then you can also, obviously, with the Doterra oils, the oils I use, you can actually, because they're so pure, you can take them internally. And how you would do this, you would just put 1 drop in a glass of water, and you would take it internally. Or you could, you can buy little veggie cups. You can buy, on the internet or Amazon, you buy little veggie cups, and then you put inside a couple of drops, or 1 drop or 2 drops of the oils, and you can swallow it with water if you are more sensitive to the tastes and things like that. Very good way to. The reason we take them internally is because they support. They have this ability, specifically certain blends, to boost our immune system. So, like I said to you earlier about, they really affect the cells from inside out. So they have this power. We can also use them for like any digestive issues. For example, they're wonderful to use for any stomach upsets, nausea, things like that. Absolutely amazing. And yeah, so they are really the 3 ways. So you could diffuse them, you can actually put them on your skin topically, or you can actually ingest them. So, so 1 drop goes a long way.
Yeah, and so would you, if someone was starting out wanting to use the oils, is there a process that they would go through? I mean, we'll come on to the business. So you've now become is it like a consultant or a
yes, exactly, like a wellness advocate they call them, but consultant.
I like that. A wellness advocate.
It's nice. Yeah, I like it too. Has a nice ringtone, and that's what we are. We try to spread wellness. So
cool. So you started that. So how would someone? What would it be? What would it look like to actually to have a consultation with you? And what could you just, if you could give us a little description of what a consultation would look like?
Okay, of course. So what we do, because very important thing with these, the Doterra, the company I work for, is that we put a lot of emphasis on education. For us, it's really, really important. I think this is why I love it even more, is really before you have these oils, and it's not just about purchasing them, it's just about knowing why you purchase them and what they can do for you, right? So education is like top first. And for that reason, we do beautiful oil classes. So every week we do oil classes. They're about half an hour, 40 minutes long, not very long. And in that 40 minutes, we lay out everything you need to know about these oils. Okay, so just, basic, not everything, obviously in 40 minutes you can do so much, but we tell you, all about the oils, how you can use them, why they're so good. We talk about, and then we talk a bit about business if you wanted to join Doterra as a business, what are the next steps to do that? And then, after people, then of course, if people want to join in, then I have a one-to-one session with them. We have a Zoom call. I explain in more details how it works. And they have the option to actually, they can decide whether they want to just buy oils and use them for themselves, whether they want to share oils with others and create some income for themselves. So they can decide which way they want to go. Either way is fine. So then we have Zoom call, we do that together. And then basically also what happens is the person becomes a part of a beautiful community. So I'm part of a lovely community all over the world. We are from UK, from America, from Spain, from Australia, it's all of us from everywhere. And we support each other, help each other, guide each other, and we're working together. Okay, so we do this wonderful, so we do this as oil classes, but we also do something called continuing education classes. So once you join in for free, you can plug in every week. We teach you on a different thing about oil, give you recipes, give you tips, give you like just where you can use them, and just kind of empower you to use them in your home. The point is just to use them to feel the effect of them. So this is how it will be. First will be education, and of course, before these oil classes start, I always love to send some samples to people, because there's nothing like experience. So this is why I'm going to send you some samples, because you have to experience these oils, because you will see, once you smell them, once you taste them, you will know what I'm talking about. And there's nothing like experience. So I do that too. So we have sent some samples so people can have that experience. And then, of course, they come into the class and then they can decide.
Oh, lovely. I tell you what, I guarantee, I'm interested. I'll guarantee Mrs. Wood will also be, will be all over this like a rash.
I'm happy to hear it.
She'll be mugging me for the oils. No, I know. No, Debbie's very into the holistic healing and
is she?
And natural. Absolutely, yeah. So,
oh wow, I did not know that, Nick. That's interesting.
I know. We never met. Yeah, you never met Debbie.
No, I haven't met Debbie before. I heard a lot about her, but I haven't met her.
Behind every good man, there's a better woman.
There's a marvelous woman.
That's certainly Mrs. Wood. So yeah, that's exciting. So yeah, I loved also with the global community. One thing I think I love the idea of that, and that is because there'll always be someone. I'm guessing that if you had someone that said, "Oh, I'm feeling something that you might not have understood before," there'll be someone in that community that will have experienced the same and said, okay, it might be X, Y, or Z, and you've always got an answer.
Always, and that different people levels. So some people who have been with Doterra for like 5, 6, 10 years, some people who have been only a few months, but we can bounce, off each other and give each other support. And of course, and I have people coming to me with you might have people coming to you with different ailments, trying to address particular things. Let's say, for example, sleep issues. Some people who can't sleep. So of course, then, it's nice to give them some recipes and some pointers. And of course, it's like to be part of a community, it's invaluable, because that's how we learn, that's how we grow, bouncing off each other, helping each other. I love it. It's just it's just precious.
Oh, you can tell, Diana, when you talk about it, your passion just flies through. But talking and it's Doterra is
Doterra is a company, Doterra,
So just a couple of things. So whereabouts are Doterra based, and also what are the as a business opportunity? Can you explain a little bit about that? Because in these crazy times that we live in right now, with a lot of people either losing or about to lose their jobs, a lot of people are going to be looking to supplement their income or have a full-time extra business. So if you can tell us a little bit about the company and how that would work, that would be fantastic. So
absolutely.
Can get in touch with you as well.
Sure. So Doterra is the US company, so American company, and they actually came into existence in 2008. So that's fairly young company. I mean, not overly too old, but they have, they have really, if you look at the history of the company and what they stand for, and I think it's important to also say that when I joined them, I never knew how ethical and how heart-centered the company is. I mean, they're massively involved with many, which is, I think it's important to mention, many charitable organizations. Like they have their own foundation called Healing Hands, where they go to the third world countries and, you know, help with any health issues, education, sanitation, you know, and things like that. They're also very much involved with the companies that fight the sex trafficking as well.
Oh.
They're very big. They in fact produced an oil. It's an oil blend called Hope. That when you buy that oil, all the proceeds go to the company organization called Underground Railroad. You can actually Google that. Go on YouTube. You can see
I've
some
heard of
videos.
it. Yep.
Have you?
Mm.
Have you? Honestly, I can't even watch it. I watched it few. It's very, they're becoming super emotional because of course I've got a daughter, and it's you know, but they do such a good stuff, you know, good things in the world. They freed so many and helped so many women and children. So Doterra is part of that too. So they're super kind of the humanitarian organization as well, and the purity of the oils always has been at first, of course. So you know, it's and then everything else follows. Of course, their business as well, of course, but you know, the core of it, the essence of it, is so pure. So in terms of business opportunities, they're great with Doterra, and especially, like you said, in this time where people are losing jobs, people have to reevaluate their life a lot. I think this is what happened to me. This is why I think part of the reason is why I joined them 6 months ago, because it happened during the lockdown. I actually joined them during the lockdown. Yeah. So, and you know, I realized that, you know, I wanted to kind of, you know, if they were really aligned with who I am and how I, you know, function in the world, and who I want to be in the world, and my mission and my purpose. So they give you this opportunity where you can start earning money pretty much straight away at the beginning. So you join them, and you start sharing those. It's all about sharing those oils. And of course, when you share, you sign up people, and as you sign up, you start getting certain commissions on that. Okay, there's a whole business structure which we obviously can't go into it now, but if people are interested, I'll be more than happy to, because again, we do a class on business as well, just to explain the business side and see absolutely to see whether that would fit you or not, because it doesn't fit everyone. So of course, absolutely, but we do those classes too, and you can go in different levels. That they have a different ways you can earn the income. So they offer you, they really work with you to make sure they give you all the avenues of how you can make this income for yourself. And I was so shocked, and my husband was actually very shocked, Kevin. He said to me, "Oh my goodness, it's been a month and you already made some money." I'm like, yes, it was like very quickly, and it was just, it wasn't a lot, but it doesn't matter. You know, you start, you know, you move, it starts moving slowly, but it's a beautiful system they set up. And what I really love about the system is that everybody has to. So for example, I came through a beautiful lady called, you probably know her, a beautiful lady called Marta Botica.
Oh,
do you know?
Yes, I know Marta. Yeah, she's beautiful.
Yeah.
She's lovely.
So I came through her, and for both of us to succeed, we both have to do well. So it's almost like we all have to do well for the good of all, basically. And I love that idea that we have to help each other, and we are succeeding together, you know, and it's working together. So I love the business structure, but like I said, it's a lot to go through for one. You know, there's a lot of avenues to so it will take us another half an hour to do that. So if people are interested, I would highly recommend to come and join us. Let me know. My details will be, you know.
I was going to say, yeah, I've got that.
Yeah.
Is that the Blazond at Hotmail?
Yes, me.
And that
Yes,
number?
and my number.
I thought I should have checked that before we went live. But...
No, that's okay. No, that's perfect. That's me. That's my email address, and that's my phone number. So if you're interested, do let me know, and we'll go into details of it, and you can find out if that's for you or not.
Perfect. That sounds amazing. So with these crazy times, how do you see the future for yourself and Kevin and Lyra?
Yes, a good question. So it's very uncertain times, but I feel it's a time when people are waking up as well. That's what I feel. It's a time of awakening. For me, I think people are going through a very bad time in terms people are losing jobs, people are obviously ill, and there's lots of things going on today. But at the same time, I feel there's a new portal opening, portal of awakening, and a new new ways of working. So I think it's like, for example, for myself, like the new pathways of possibilities are opening, that we don't have to work for somebody else. We can actually create our own business, and we can do that. It's like, we don't have to work in the office anymore. We can actually work from home. All this is changing, and for me, that's very exciting. So I'm a very positive person. I'm trying to really focus on good stuff that's going to come out of this, rather than bad stuff, because we know there's a lot of bad stuff. Obviously, nobody wants to deny that, and I completely honor that. But for me, it's like focusing on a good thing. So for me, it's like I can see my growth, because obviously, as you mentioned in introduction, I'm also trained, which that's a story for another time. I also trained in the breath work.
Yes.
So yes. So, but that's another interview. But I have done a Soma breathwork practitioner's course. So I qualified just before lockdown in that, but I haven't done anything with this in business terms yet.
Right.
So this is something I want to develop alongside the essential oils. So do some program that would kind of have everything in it. That's where I see myself going, and also developing.
I can see that. I can see that, because breathing is. That's stupid. Breathing is super, super important.
Yes. Where will we be without breathing? Absolutely. And it's free, right? It's free. It's with us all the time, but we misuse it a lot. And it's another conversation. But I think there's such an importance of the conscious breath, when we concentrate, when we are conscious of our breathing and how we breathe. There's a science behind it, huge science. I can go in so many ways with this, which I won't, because it's another interview. But I'm super passionate about that, because that is shifting my own health, because I do breathwork practices every day, and I can see when I do and when I don't, when I skip it. It's just such a world it's a new world of breath. Yeah,
it is. It's that consciousness of breathing. You're at that. You hit the nail on the head. Yeah, it's being able to do it consciously.
Yes.
And it can bring you right down, bring you centered, bring you together. Oh yeah, I love a bit of breathing, a bit of breath work.
Yes.
Now, I wanted to bring on the, let's get this down. So this is the essential oils case studies.
Yes, let me tell you about that. This is a wonderful way. So if, for example, if Debbie is interested, we do this every month. We started a few months back. I think it was August we started the first one, or was it July? I can't remember now. But we do it every month. We found that it's such a beautiful way of people to try these oils. It's all for free, nothing to be paid for. And we give all the oils for free, and it lasts 8 days. Okay, we do it every month, about mid every month. And we focus on these 5 areas here. So we have a sleep study. So people who have trouble sleeping. We have digestion study. So people have digestive issues, nausea, things like that. We've got pain study, obviously, people with pain. We've got a respiratory study, so any respiratory breathing issues. And we do also stress, obviously, and anxiety, which is obviously huge today. Who isn't under stress? And we have some beautiful oils that support all of these areas. So we do it for 8 days, 1 week, and we put you on a Facebook group, and every day you have to choose one of them per month, because of course the reason is because we measure everything properly. We ask you to fill in pre-study form and then post-study, so we do all the numbers and graphs at the end of it, so we see which oils works good, which doesn't, what are people's experiences like. So we want to be also learning through it, and people are also seeing, if it works for them or not. So it's a beautiful way to kind of try these oils and experience them, and And so if anybody's interested, let me know. I will give you all the details, but we do it every month. It's a monthly thing.
And is that on a live video call or?
No, so basically we plug you into the Facebook page. Every month we create a new Facebook page, private obviously, and we add the members to this Facebook page. And then every day, so for example, you decide to be part of a sleep study. Every day we have 5 trainers who are each doing one of the areas, and we all post little short 3 to 4 minute videos every single day for these 8 days, just telling you about each oil you're using. So for example, you might start with lavender for sleep, and then we will tell you things you might not have known about lavender and why lavender for sleep, or what's in the lavender, or how does it affect your body and things like that. So we do it for the whole 8 days. So you actually learn a lot, to be honest. We had participants like learning tons. They were like, oh my goodness, I never knew that. So you just get all this free education, which is lovely, which I just love educating people. I think it's part of who I am as well. I just love imparting knowledge, whatever I have of it.
Oh no, it's so cool. I love it. And also, I just wanted to show up your this is your link to your website. The reason showing that, so pop into the. Hopefully, this will then pop into the comments. There it goes. So so if you want to check out Deanna at the website there, that's where she is. So that was cool. Deanna, God, these interviews they fly by, especially with it's so educational and so informative. It's been amazing. So that's been it. Is there any final little tips or advice you'd like to give anyone that might want to start or might want to consider using oils?
Just to say,
with the business opportunity.
Sure. I just feel that I'm here to empower. We can all be more empowered human beings, right? Take the health in our own hands and try these products. Try to use nature. Nature is there outside, and there's so much in it that we can use for our own health and benefits, from our mind, for our physical body, for our emotional body. We can do so much with it. So do become empowered individual and take the health in your own hands. And you try these oils and try alternative methods of healing. And so, that will be my message.
Fantastic. Deanna, if you just hold tight a little minute, I'll just farewell to everyone. Well, what an amazing show. What an amazing lady Deanna Jones is. You could tell her passion just shines absolutely through, as I have to say. So, if you want to get involved, please do. The contact details are below. We'll have all contact details like we do for all the shows in the show notes for the podcast, in the comments, and in a description for the YouTube and the Facebook videos as well. Guys, thank you. It's been Open for Business, and we'll be back again this week. We're back on Thursday. So we will see you then. Have a phenomenal day.